Holy crap, there's a lot to talk about all of a sudden. On today's Apple Daily, Apple Silicon MacBooks ramp production. iPhone 12 Pro smokes Samsung Note 20 Ultra in real-world testing. iPhone 12 Pro Max and iPhone 12 Mini order day, plus HomePod Mini. iPhone 12 production constraints. A14X alleged benchmarks leak ahead of the Apple Silicon event. And iCave answers rapid fire, notification squad, and a shout out for a channel that is doing really well.
This is the Apple Daily.
I'm David for living on iPad, and I simplify Apple so that everything just works for you. And if you want the latest Apple news, leaks and rumours every weekday at 12 UTC, like the video, subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss a thing, even when the channel changes its name this weekend. Yeah, you might have noticed it's already called iCave on YouTube. That's because I didn't know if it was going to be one of those things that takes ages for it to do, but that's happened. That's fine. All of the branding, the logos and stuff will all change over the weekend. I will also be getting all the other bits of kind of video stuff that I need to have ready. Might do a cool video intro because that's been suggested by a couple of people, so we will see. But for now, let's get on with today's show because there is so much to talk through. Apple Silicon MacBooks ramp production with 2.5 million units due by February 2021, which is about 20% of what Apple produced in total in 2019 in terms of MacBooks. Now that is a pretty impressive thing. They're not going for a gentle launch. They're not going for let's just see and make sure that everything's okay. They're going, right, we know it works, we know it's good, let's just get them out there and get them sold. So we know we've got the event coming. That is coming on Tuesday next week. It's going to be awesome, or it better be anyway, because I've been hyping it for that long. If it's crap, I'm going to be really pissed. But it seems like Apple is confident, so that's a good thing. iPhone 12 Pro smokes Samsung Note 20 Ultra in real-world testing. This pleased me no end. Even though Samsung's flagship Note 20 Ultra has got 12 gigabytes of RAM, double the RAM of the iPhone 12 Pro, the iPhone was 12% faster in the testing that was done. Kind of like for like, apples for apples testing by a cool YouTube channel, which I haven't got the name of here because I'm really careless when it comes to research. This was through repeated testing. This was on the second run through because the iPhone is doing better at handling the RAM. The iPhone also happens to have a high resolution display at 2532 by 1170 versus 2316 by 1080, which is nice, although I'm guessing the Note might have that 120 Hz thing that doesn't matter and nobody wanted in the first place. Pretty sure no one cared about that when we didn't have it. And the iPhone comes in as well, $300 cheaper for the iPhone 12 Pro versus $1,300 for the Note 20 Ultra, and the Note 20 Ultra also runs with a Snapdragon 865 Plus processor, which I assume means something. But yeah, iPhone 12% faster, $300 cheaper. You know what to buy. iPhone 12 Pro Max and iPhone 12 Mini go on pre-order from today. Not only that, but there is also the HomePod Mini is going on pre-order as well today. It's going to be an expensive day. So actually an hour from this video premiering, and by the time we've got to this part, probably about 55 minutes from this video, you will be able to pre-order the new iPhone 12 Pro Max, which we know is the one that everyone wants because it's the biggest, it's got the best cameras and everything else, and the Mini exists also. It has a smaller battery and it charges a little bit slower than the others, but to be honest, it's just cool because it's going to be really cute, and I kind of want to see one next to the Pro Max because that's going to be awesome. And just for context, I have my case ready for my 12 Pro Max. It is a beast, it is hefty, but I do like it. I still got a bit of foam in it because I thought if you could see through it, it wasn't going to be as effective. But yeah, who cares? That's cool. We've got that, and I'm very, very excited for the phone coming next week. Am I going to order a HomePod Mini? I'm going to order a HomePod Mini. Apple is also having problems with power management chip supply for the iPhone 12 range, because of the new 5G chips and some of the other stuff that's in there, like the OLED display, all of which uses more battery power, plus the fact that the iPhone 12 range has been pretty popular, means that Apple is having some problems with supply of the parts that it needs. So by all accounts, they have borrowed some parts that were allocated already for iPad production. That might push the iPad Pro into next year. Now, That's my excuse for it being late now, because I thought it was going to be out this year. If it's not, then that's why. If they do announce it, then I was right anyway. Well done me. Okay, this is breaking news as I'm actually editing this video. I've had to stop, put everything down, pull out the SD card, chuck it back in the camera. But A14X Benchmarks have leaked, and they are pretty much in line with what Luke Miani had predicted way back, like literally before we even had an A14 to have a look at, which is pretty impressive. A good job, Luke Miani. So the numbers that we've got, and these are unconfirmed, but you know, fingers crossed, let's see how they stack up. So single core is going to be pretty much in line with the A14 because that's basically an A14 core, but the multi-core score, 7220, which is versus the A12Z, which is what we have in the current iPad Pro, at 4657, and the A14 at about 4200. So that's a massive improvement. 7220 is huge. For context, the i9, the Intel i9 processor in the top of the line 16-inch MacBook Pro right now gets 6869. So it's like 400 points higher. That's pretty impressive, and that's like a $3,000 computer, I think. So just to give you an idea, this is the kind of performance increases that Apple Silicon is going to be bringing in something that doesn't potentially need a fan. This is an uncooled chip. This is like in an iPad. Apple Silicon, guys. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Pretty cool. So let's get into iCave answers. We've got a lot today, so we're going to go rapid fire. We're not going to go into massive detail on each, but if there's something that you want to hear like loads more detail on, let me know in the comments. We'll talk about it on the next one. If only there was a way of upvoting them. Someone should invent Reddit. Vishwanith Vijay Ashkabar, I tried, says awesome video, just turned on my notifications, so that's why he's getting a shout out in a bit as well, but we'll move on to that. Just a question though, is there any chance of the 12-inch MacBook at this event? Congrats on nearly 2k subs. Also, did you see the newest rumours about 2.5 million Apple Silicon Macs aimed to be produced by February 2021? Yes, to the last bit, yes I did, because it's up at the beginning of the video. But I hadn't at the time when you wrote that, so thank you, because you're the reason that it was up at the beginning of the video. But the 12-inch MacBook at the event, I don't know. Nobody seems to know what's going on. Everyone's saying 2 MacBooks. A lot of people are saying 2 13-inch MacBooks. Bloomberg is saying there's 3 MacBooks in production, including the 16-inch. They've not mentioned the 12-inch, so maybe that's not true. Maybe they were using that as kind of a prototype to test some stuff. I don't know. I would love to see the 12-inch come back because I think it's a really cool form factor and I would like to own one. I don't think we're going to see it at this event now. Maybe. Soz. Tato asks, hashtag iCave answers, could we see iPhone colours on the new Apple Silicon MacBooks, i.e. graphite, MacBook, Pacific Blue? I would love that, and I hope they keep the Pro colours, the graphite, the Pacific Blue, the silver, and there's another one, and the gold. I hope they keep those 4 Pro colours for MacBook Pros, and then the brighter iPhone colours go to the regular MacBook or MacBook Air, whichever one comes out. I think that would be super awesome. So yes, I think there is a chance. I think I mentioned it in the previous show, but I think that the colours around the invite might suggest that we're getting more colourful Macs as well. Krishna Games, why is there no rose gold MacBook Pro? Don't know. Maybe there will be soon. Although they seem to have moved away from rose gold in general now, so maybe not. Maybe just gold. GB, who gave us the longest question in the world yesterday, iCave answers, I'm guessing. He's just put hashtag iCave, but I like it. About the Atmos coming for the HomePod, I think it only works when you pair it with an Apple TV. Not sure that it could work with Mac or iPads. What do you think about this? So, Sander has corrected me on this one. MacBook Pros already have Dolby Atmos built in, and so did the iPhones, although I didn't think that was in playback. I thought that was in the microphone so it could record Atmos sound, but I could well be wrong on that. But it sounds like there is this capability already built into the MacBooks. There has also been a rumour running around today that Apple is really doubling down on the sound quality in the MacBooks. That was running around on Twitter. I cannot remember who was posting it because I saw it in passing. But from the sounds of that, we might be getting even more awesome sound in our MacBooks, because the iPad Pros have got pretty insanely good speakers. The HomePods have got just insanely good speakers. I really want to hear the HomePod Mini in person to see what that sounds like. It's not going to be as good as the HomePods because it's a single speaker compared to a big speaker and then 7 tweeters, but it's going to be pretty good. So I really want to see what Apple is doing in the audio department for these MacBooks. Atmos, I mean, quite possibly then. Again from GB, iCave, I know Apple will not support Windows Boot Camp on new MacBooks, but Windows is also running on a Snapdragon chip. I know it's crappy software now, but feeling optimistic for the future, but still depends if Apple wants to support ARM version of Windows, although new Apple approach of supporting third-party stuff is getting better day by day. Yes, so, yes, ARM can run Windows now. However, when you run an ARM version of Windows, it doesn't run the software that would run on x86 Windows. As far as I know, things change all the time, but as far as I'm aware, you can only run kind of native ARM Windows apps. So they brought out Windows 10S, I want to call it. I think that's what they called it. And you basically had an app store that you could use the stuff from, but you couldn't run regular Windows apps that were designed to run on Intel. Whereas the difference with Apple is where they've created this version of macOS Big Sur that is going to run on Apple Silicon chips, which run the ARM processor instruction set. They've built Rosetta in order to translate those x86 apps into basically native language for the Apple Silicon ARM-based chips. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, even if we were able to run Windows ARM on an Apple Silicon MacBook, you wouldn't get all of the Windows software that you would normally have. You would only get the ARM Windows software stuff. By another rumour that I saw today, it looks like there is no way to boot anything else but macOS on Apple Silicon. They're properly locked down. It's the same as trying to boot anything else on an iPad. Sander Hoogland. I'm going to say Hoogland. I'm hoping I've got that right, Sander. iCave answers. I know a lot of people don't like the TouchBar. Do you? If so, why? What do you use it for? If not, why not? I do like it, by the way. Okay, so I've never had a TouchBar Mac because my newest Mac that I own is a 2013 iMac over here. Before that, I had the 2011 MacBook Air. Those are the latest Macs that I've ever owned. So I've never used TouchBar more than just kind of playing with it in the store. I think it's a cool idea. I think they probably haven't done enough with it. And I think if we do get to the point of having touchscreen Macs, it will be kind of obsolete. I like the fact that it's down there. The whole point of putting it on the top of the keyboard instead of reaching up to the screen is ergonomics, because it's quite uncomfortable to be reaching up to a angled screen all the time to do stuff on it compared to using a trackpad or using the keyboard to interact. I think it's super cool for like video editing, scrubbing through a timeline, moving through. I think if they brought back cover flow for photos, that would be really good if you were using the touch bar to swipe through those. If you don't remember cover flow, I'll try and find a video of it being used and put it up on the screen now. But it was a really cool way of moving through songs and albums in iTunes. It was on the early iPhones, I think. I don't know quite when they got rid of it, but it was probably around about iOS 6 or 7 whenever they went to the not skeuomorphic version of graphics. This was not as rapid fire as I expected, but I went pretty quick. One more question to do, which is, it comes in from Akshat Garg, who we had questions from previously as well. What are the limitations of Rosetta 2? iCave answers. So Rosetta 2 is one of these things that hopefully nobody should even know exists if it all works properly. So Rosetta 2 translates from Intel code on a Mac to Apple Silicon code on a Mac, and basically allows you to run apps that haven't been optimized for Apple Silicon on Apple Silicon. So they will take a performance hit. Having seen the performance numbers that came out from the developer transition kit on Apple Silicon, it looks like the performance hit is around about 30%. That is based on what we know that processor will perform on an iPad version of Geekbench versus what it performed on running the Intel version on Big Sur. A little bit convoluted, but I think that's as good as we can get. However, with the extra power that you're going to get with Apple Silicon on Big Sur, it should feel quite usable. And there's every possibility that Rosetta 2 will have improved from the first kind of beta version to what we get when they are released in the real world. So fingers crossed the limitations are minimal. The only thing I would say is that app designers do have the option of kind of saying, no, we don't want Rosetta 2 to work with our app. So if they really think that it's going to hit the performance too hard and that it's not going to be a good experience, I think they can disable it. But I don't know why. Hopefully that answers it for you. But I do love answering these questions in iCave Answers. I don't tend to do too much research around them before I answer them. I kind of like just paste them in and then go. So hopefully I'm giving you vaguely accurate stuff. If I got any of this stuff wrong, please do feel free to correct me in the comments and we will correct it in the next show. Next up, Notification Squad, Vishwanith Vijayabaskar, Kingpin, and Rico the MLG Pro. Don't know what that means. But MLG? Is that a thing? Medium level golf pro. Thank you for joining the Notification Squad. There's going to be some... I'm just sorry, if I upset you when you've just joined my Notification Squad, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to keep this kind of light and enjoyable. And also I wanted to give a shout out for BNChill, who is another YouTuber. He started about the same time as us. He's doing some really good work over on his channel. Go and check it out. I'll leave a link in the show notes. So yeah, go and check him out too. We have got new social media handles going live. Sorry, over this weekend and today and the next couple of days, things are going to be a bit muddled, but I will leave the links in the show notes so that you can find the new stuff. It's not new stuff, but we've updated it. So if you see the @living on iPad stuff, that's not going to work anymore. But it's basically @iCave _David or _David ES on different things with what I could get. But I don't think it matters that much. Everyone's just going to click on the link. But thank you guys for watching. If you've got any comments, questions, comments, put it down in the box. If you want to join the Notification Squad, subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the notification bell, let me know in the comments that you did it by putting in #Notification Squad. And I'll give you a shout out like this one. Thanks so much. And I will see you in the next iCave live from the iCave. See you next time from here in the iCave.